River House International Styling. What the? So, Mr. Cush, where is the River House based in Belfast? Well, the location, Stephen, of the River House is based on High Street in Belfast. And as you can see, it is just based down the road from the Albert Clock and McDonald's.
So, Katie, when was the building built and who built it?
Well, Katie, the architects are James Munt's partnership, but they were actually formerly known, like they're the guy who ran James Munt's, his dad and then his partner were called Muntz and Kennedy, and so they were the former people, but it's actually James Munt's partnership. And the building was built, you asked me, in 1974.
So, Mr. Cush, tell us a little bit of background history for us, please. No problem. So the building is now owned and leased by the International Commercial Real Estate Advisors Colliers, and it was originally built as a commercial building for the town and city properties, who were the largest developers in the UK at the time. Before the River House was built, it was used as a car park for over 20 years after the Blitz bombing on Belfast in 1941. This space was known for years as the Blitz ground. It is now primarily used as an office as it hosts the PSNA and other call centre companies such as BT, etc. I love BT.
So, Katie, have there been any alterations to the building since it was built?
Well, actually, there has been some alterations to the building, yes, Katie. The River House was actually bombed in the early 90s. It was a car bomb by, well, we think it was the IRA, is what the security man told us, so we'll say it was them.
The raw bomb in the River House? I dare them to bomb me.
So then the outer facade actually had to be replaced, so the original facade was white and now it's grey. So yeah, it's fun stuff.
Ms. Hayward, tell us a little bit about the River House. Why does the exterior look like it does?
I'd be happy to. So as you may have noticed, Katie, the main facade of the street is actually set back from the street front. Now, talking to our many contacts that we've got, we found out that it's actually believed that it would have a big bomb threat posed to it. So during the time of construction, don't know whether you know, Katie, but there were these things called the Troubles. Yeah. So there were strikes, there were some petrol bombs, some car bombs, some nail bombs, lots of bombs really.
And because the new building was being backed by the PSNI, these pesky bombs were a real problem.
Yeah, exactly. So James Muntz had the genius idea to only have the first two floors reaching out onto the main street facade. The rest of the building was set about 20 metres back from the street. So this meant that if a car did drive through and into the reception and boom, blow up, then there would only be minimal damage rather than the whole building just kind of flopping.
Oh, that's genius!
Yeah, I know, yeah it is.
So did it get bombed?
Yeah, like I said earlier, if you've been listening, Katie.
And you's better be listening.
It was blown up in the early 90s. However, because of the architect's cunning plans, the building survived. There was only some major redecorating works to be done. Most of the interior was reworked and the exterior. So originally the building, it was white and glass, but when it was redone it was grey. Nobody knows why, but they chose grey.
Oh, okay, but with the building sitting away from the street level, what effect did that have apart from saving its life?
It saved its life, but also the lives of hundreds of people who were working in it that day. Yeah, I didn't think of that one. Anyway, yes, the size of the building meant that it could sit away from the street edge and still have the imposing effect that it was made to. It was 14 floors high and reached 150 feet in height, so pretty big. It was actually one of the tallest buildings in Belfast at the time. So this meant that the architect could afford to make that judgment call, set it back a little bit, but also without affecting the presence of the building that was obviously intended for it to have. Look at the two sides of the River House. They've been left blank with no windows, vents or any features at all. Yeah, considering the building was large, You would have thought that the best views of the city would be, like, you'd want to make the most of them, so to the left, to the right. What I'm thinking here is that the two sides, because they are completely blank, it looks like they're ready for another building to be put on to the side. So we're thinking there was an intention there that other buildings could be put either side of them.
Ooh!
Ooh, indeed. The main facade of the building, you'll also notice, is south facing, so they obviously chose the best part, let the most sunlight in. And it's constructed actually out of concrete,
steel and glass.
something that all the international styles used. And they used the curtain walling method. So this allows the most light into the front of the building, as well as showing off to the public the new construction methods available at the time to the architect and the engineers. The glass walls were juxtaposed in large lengths of concrete, which separated all the walls and defined where the floors of the building were, even to the exterior public.
This contrast between the seemingly fragile glass and the large imposing concrete makes the building appear even more impressive than its size already does.
Yeah, it really does. It makes a huge statement to the passing public that there was nothing to hide in the use of the glass, but the building was also still strong and powerful with their uses of steel and concrete. You'll also notice that there's shops along the ground floor.
Yeah, let me try analysing this one. Is it so that the building still has some connection to the public, even though it's mostly private?
Got it in one!
During the day, the reception is well lit due to these massive glass doors at the entrance. This entrance lobby area was completely refurbished 3 years ago. From the lobby area, the ground steps up a few steps to 3 accessible lifts on the right hand side. The lift to the rear is a lift for large deliveries, etc. This was an additional feature to the building, as seen by the fresher material that was used. Each floor has a floor plan that includes an open office area, a space for private offices and meeting rooms, a kitchen area, and toilets. At the rear corner of the building is the fire exit. As demonstrated in the photograph, it was built to stick out from the rest of the building. A reason I think it was built like this was to take it away from the main structure so it was safer in case the building collapsed. The ceilings are suspended, which have a drop ceiling of plastic panels and fluorescent strip lighting. Each floor has perimeter trunking, which is an ideal feature for its office use.
Easy. Started in 1920s, against ornamentation, wanted to create buildings which were completely original and had no influences from history. With new construction techniques, this was made possible. International style, boom.
No ornamentation! Volume over mass. Glass, steel and concrete. appeared symmetry over real symmetry.
Similar buildings. So the River House is similar to a lot of international style buildings, mainly like the ones which were closer to the 1930s, like the International Fair building in Prague.
But what about the one we've actually seen?
Right then. So within Belfast there is the Ulster Bank. However, they've used a lot more glass and steel and less concrete than the River House people have.
But the general anti-style is still there. This is the international style, where both buildings have no ornamentation and no decoration to them. It is the construction and the methods of construction which stand out.
Very well put, Kish. But our building's still better. It's taller and looks way more impressive.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our presentation. Because see if you didn't, go to Tesco's and eat some horse meat.